After the death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, Abu Bakr was chosen as the first caliph of the Muslim community. He ruled from 632 to 634 AD and died of natural causes. He was succeeded in 634 AD by Umar ibn al-Khattab, who served as the second caliph until his assassination in 644 AD. Following Umar's death, Uthman ibn Affan was appointed as the third caliph, beginning his rule in 644 AD. Known for his considerable wealth and steadfast loyalty to both the Prophet and the early Muslim community, Uthman was born into the influential Umayyad clan of Quraysh. He also became the Prophet's son-in-law through his marriages to two of the Prophet's daughters, first to Ruqayya bint Muhammad, who died in 624 AD, and later to Kulthum bint Muhammad. During Uthman's caliphate, the Muslim empire expanded significantly beyond the Arabian Peninsula, extending its authority into North Africa, Eastern Iran, Central Asia, and the Caucasus. One of the most consequential initiatives of Caliph Uthman's rule was the standardization of the Quran. At that time, Islam had spread far and wide, and differences in reading the Quran in different dialects of Arabic language became obvious. A group of companions headed by Hudhaifa ibn al-Yaman, who was then stationed in Iraq, came to Uthman.
O Caliph Uthman, variations in Quranic recitations are growing across the expanding caliphate. I urged you to save the Muslim community before they start disagreeing about the Quran.
Although our previous caliph tried to standardize the Quran, the problem apparently still persists. I must compile a single authorized codex.
According to Sahih al-Bukhari, Uthman obtained the manuscript of the Quran from Hafsa, and he summoned Zayd ibn Thabit to do the task to make a new standardized Quran.
Said, you had previously served as one of the Prophet Muhammad's scribe. I appointed you to oversee the collection and compilation of the Quranic verses.
Yes, Your Honor, I will do it.
This process was complex and politically sensitive, as it required the destruction of all Quranic copies that did not conform to the standardized text. This decision was not universally accepted. Senior Quran specialists, most notably Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, resisted the imposition of the new standardized text and refused to surrender their personal copies.
You cannot take away his Quran.
This is the command of the Caliph.
You may know me from the Al-Zut event. I was the one who accompanied Prophet Muhammad to the desert in the middle of the night to meet naked Al-Zut, who liked to ride the Prophet all night long. Years later, I became one of the Prophet's most esteemed companions and a leading authority on the Quran in Kufa. Now, the new Caliph wants me to hand over my Quran so that it can be destroyed. How can that be? I learned more than 70 surahs directly from the mouth of the Messenger of Allah, while Zayd ibn Thabit was still a youth with 2 side locks.
Uthman instructed his governor in Kufa, Al-Walid ibn Uqba, to confiscate Ibn Mas'ud's codex by force if necessary, and to compel the surrender of all non-Uthmanic manuscripts. Al-Walid had Ibn Mas'ud brought publicly to the mosque. They beat Ibn Mas'ud until his ribs were broken. After that, Ibn Mas'ud's personal codex was seized and subsequently destroyed, either burned or otherwise eliminated, along with other non-standard copies.
This is just unacceptable. Ibn Mas'ud was among the earliest followers of the Prophet Muhammad and the most influential Quran teacher in Iraq. Thousands of Kufans had memorized the Quran according to his recitation, or qira'ah. Yet despite his stature, he suffered harsh treatment during the enforcement of the Uthmanic recension.
Other early Quran scribes who possessed variant codices, such as Ubay ibn Ka'b, Abu Musa al-Ash'ar, Miqdad ibn al-Aswad, also faced pressure to relinquish their personal manuscripts. The forced collection and destruction of these non-standard copies, and especially the harsh treatment inflicted upon Abdullah ibn Mas'ud in Kufa, generated resentment among segments of the Muslim community. This discontent contributed to growing anger and criticism directed toward Caliph Uthman. These tensions were compounded by broader political grievances. As the years of Uthman's rule passed, accusations of nepotism became increasingly widespread. For instance, he appointed his cousin Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan as lifelong governor of Syria. He appointed his foster brother Marwan ibn al-Hakam as his chief secretary and de facto prime minister. People accused Marwan ibn al-Hakam of running the caliphate behind the scenes. He appointed his drunken half-brother al-Walid ibn Uqba as governor of Kufa, then replaced him with another Umayyad, Sa'id ibn al-As. He also gave other Umayyads governorships or high posts, for instance to Abdullah ibn Amir in Basra, and his foster brother Abdullah ibn Sa'd ibn Abi Sarh in Egypt.
Caliph Uthman favored members of his Umayyad clan, appointing them to high administrative positions throughout the expanding empire. For example, he appointed his cousin Abd Allah ibn Abi Sarh as governor of Egypt, despite widespread perceptions that Ibn Abi Sarh lacked the administrative competence necessary to govern effectively.
This is Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh, the governor of Egypt. He ruled Upper Egypt, whose capital city was Fustat, which later became part of Cairo.
You guys might remember me from one of Nabi Asli's videos. I'm the scribe of Prophet Muhammad, who left Islam after discovering how easily I could edit Quran verses. Thanks to my foster brother, Uthman ibn Affan, I wasn't killed. He has always been my biggest helper. Now that he is the Caliph, he appointed me governor of Egypt. How about that? An apostate like me has been given such a high position in the Islamic Caliphate. This could only happen because Caliph Uthman always preferred to give important positions to his relatives.
The Egyptian elders decided to discuss monetary problems with the governor. The group was led by Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr. Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr was the youngest son of the first caliph, Abu Bakr.
Your Honor, your tax policies are crushing the people. Justice is not for sale.
The Caliph's commands are the law. Those who oppose them oppose Allah.
He never wanted to listen to our report. We have to report this to Caliph Uthman in Medina.
Yes, he needs to know how corrupt bin Abi Sarh is.
When Governor Ibn Abi Sarh ignored the complaints, discontent spread from Egypt to Kufa to Basra. In mosques and markets, whispers grew louder. In the 35th year of the Hijra, delegations from Egypt, Kufa, and Basra traveled to Medina in search of justice. There were about 600 men among them. Upon their arrival in Medina, the leaders presented Caliph Uthman with a list of 6 main grievances concerning Governor Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh.
Ya Caliph Uthman, Ibn Abi Sarh raised the kharaj, land tax, above the rates fixed by Caliph Umar and kept large portions for himself instead of sending them to Medina. He ordered 300 prominent Arabs and Copts publicly whipped for minor or fabricated offenses. He crucified a Muslim and cut off his hands and feet, an unprecedented punishment. My relative, Muhammad ibn Abi Hudayfa, was executed without proper trial. I personally demand justice for his death. He granted large tracts of land and money to his sons, brothers, and Umayyad relatives instead of distributing them to the fighters. He behaved like a king rather than a governor, surrounding himself with pomp and refusing to listen to complaints. Because of that, we request your honor to replace Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh.
Caliph Uthman had no intention to replace Ibn Abi Sarh because Ibn Abi Sarh is his beloved foster brother. However, Ali, the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, had a different opinion. He discussed this with the Caliph behind the scenes.
I think you should consider replacing Ibn Abi Sarh. This will calm the people's anger.
He is my foster brother. I will not dismiss him.
Look, they are so many of them. Their number shows that this is a very big deal. You don't want them to rebel against you, do you?
Then the Caliph made a decision.
Okay, I will order Ibn Abi Sarh to step down and appoint Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr as the new governor of Egypt.
The Egyptian delegations were very pleased. Following that, they departed the city of Medina, their satisfaction palpable, or so it appeared. On the road near Al-Buwaib, the Egyptian delegations noticed a messenger riding fast toward Egypt on a separate route.
Look at that man. He rides with purpose. Stop him.
They stopped him.
Who are you?
I'm the slave of Caliph Uthman.
They found a sealed letter with Uthman's official seal.
This is a letter for Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh, with Caliph Uthman's official seal. It says, "When Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr and his companions arrive, crucify them, cut off their hands and feet, kill them."
He swore to us and lied.
We have to go back to Medina to confront him.
The Egyptian delegation returned back to Medina. They believed that Caliph Uthman had betrayed them. They met the Caliph again.
Did we not leave you? When you said you had repented of your unlawful innovations and made a covenant before Allah.
I have indeed, and I hold to that.
We found a letter in your messenger's possession. It was written by you to your governor.
I did not write it. And I don't know what you are talking about.
It was your messenger with a letter written by your secretary and bearing your seal.
One person's handwriting may resemble another's. As for the seal, it was forged.
We will not act hastily, though we suspect you. Remove your corrupt governors and appoint others, who are not accused of harming our lives and property, and address our grievances.
I am not one to remove a robe that Allah placed upon me. Why are you threatening me? I haven't harmed you. I didn't write that letter.
So who wrote it then?
I don't know!
This is completely unacceptable. We demand what you have done. Your silence is not an option. We will not stand for this any longer. We are here to...
Hey, stop it! Don't attack your Caliph. Hey, stop it! Don't attack your Caliph. Just go home now. Leave!
On Friday, Caliph Uthman went to Al-Masjid al-Nabawi to lead the people in prayer. Some of the attendants were the Egyptian dissidents. When he saw his enemies, he said,
"O enemies, fear Allah. By Allah, the people of Medina know that Muhammad has cursed you, so correct your wrongs by doing what is right. Indeed, Allah removes evil only through good."
Zayd bin Thabit stood up and said,
I bear witness to that.
Sit down. You sit down. Get the letter from Caliph Uthman to the governor of Egypt for me. I want to see it.
Sit down, sit down.
Then the dissidents all rose up. Then they began throwing stones until the sky could not be seen. The people running away from the mosque. They threw stones at Uthman until he fell unconscious from the pulpit. He was carried off and brought into his house. After attacking Caliph Uthman in the mosque, the rebels, mostly from Egypt, laid siege to his house in Medina.
We presented Caliph Uthman with 3 clear choices: fulfill his promise and remove the corrupt governor of Egypt, step down from the caliphate, face death. He refused the first 2, so only one option remained.
This tragic escalation stemmed largely from a controversial letter bearing Uthman's official seal, addressed to Abdullah ibn Abi Sar, the governor of Egypt. The letter reportedly ordered harsh measures, even execution, against the dissenters. However, many early historical sources do not directly attribute the letter to Uthman himself.
How do I look
the Caliph
by name
strongly
officials
denied
whom you
writing
desire
or authorizing
and
it.
remove those hateful to you?
Since Marwan ibn al-Hakam served as Uthman's secretary and kept custody of the official seal, several early historians, chroniclers, and later scholars have suggested that Marwan may have written or forged the letter without the Caliph's knowledge or approval. After besieging the house for 18 days, the rebels heard that Caliph Uthman's allies would come to attack them. The rebels then decided to cut off the water and food supply to Caliph Uthman's house.
No, you cannot come in.
What do you mean? I need to deliver these food and water to the Caliph.
We take them all now. After that, go away.
Caliph Uthman watched from the rooftop of his house.
Look at what they did. They want us to die slowly from a lack of water and food.
We need to find a way to get them.
Caliph Uthman reached out to his friendly neighbor from the Hazm clan.
O Amr bin Hazm, please help me. They have denied us water. If you can, please send us some. Also, please ask Ali to help us with the water supply.
Certainly, Ya Caliph.
After hearing about the situation from Amr bin Hazm, Ali brought water for Uthman.
O people, neither believers nor unbelievers act like this. Do not cut off supplies from this man. The Romans and Persians give food and drink to their captives. This man did not resist you, so how can you think it lawful to besiege and kill him?
No, by Allah, we will show no mercy. We will not let him eat or drink.
Ali was annoyed because the rebel soldier was disrespectful to him.
I have done what you asked me to do.
Then Habiba, a mother of the believers, arrived on her mule, saddled and carrying a water skin.
That is Habiba, mother of the faithful.
The wills and inheritances of the Banu Umayyah are entrusted with this man, Uthman. I wish to meet him and inquire about them, so that the property of orphans and widows is not lost.
She's lying.
However, the rebels showed no respect for Habiba. They severed the rope holding the saddle.
Stop it! Stop it! Don't do it! You know who I am.
Struck the mule across the face. The mule bolted in panic. Habiba nearly fell, but the people around her quickly caught hold and steadied her on the animal. She almost got killed or seriously injured. Eventually, they escorted her safely back to her house. At that time, Aisha was preparing to leave Medina for the pilgrimage to Mecca.
The situation here has become truly dire. I should go perform the Hajj in Mecca. Perhaps I can convince my brother, Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, to join me, so he won't join the attack on Caliph Uthman.
But her brother refused.
I still have unfinished business with him.
Aisha left. She was disappointed. Aisha harbored deep anger toward the rebels.
By Allah, if I can do anything to frustrate their plans, I will surely do so.
Marwan ibn al-Hakam came to her and urged,
Mother of the Faithful, if you stayed here in Medina, they would be more likely to show respect to Caliph Uthman.
Do you want me to be treated the way Habiba was? I see no one who will defend me. No, by Allah, I am not to blame. I don't know what these people's actions will lead to.
Meanwhile, members of the Banu Hazm clan continued secretly bringing food and water to Uthman. Whenever the rebels' guards grew careless, they slipped supplies through to sustain him during the siege. As the siege intensified and Caliph Uthman realized the gravity of the situation, how many had turned against him, he sent a desperate letter to Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, the governor of Syria.
The people of Medina have become unbelievers. They have abandoned obedience and renounced their oath of allegiance. Therefore, send me the Syrian soldiers at your disposal, on every camel you have, whether docile or stubborn.
When Muawiyah received the letter, he hesitated and delayed any action. He was reluctant to openly oppose the companions of the Messenger of Allah, knowing that many of them had withdrawn their support from Uthman. When Uthman learned of the delay, he wrote again, this time directly to Yazid ibn Asad ibn Qurs and the Syrians, urging swift help.
If you can aid me, then hurry, hurry! The dissidents are moving quickly against me.
When he received the letter, Yazid ibn Asad ibn Qurs, from the clan of Qasr in the tribe of Bajila, stood up and rallied support for the Caliph. A large contingent of the Syrian army set out toward Medina. But the distance was vast, and they could not reach the city in time to save Uthman from his fate. News emerged that Muslim pilgrims in Mecca were rallying in support of Caliph Uthman. The rebels grew desperate. Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr confided in his companions.
Our only escape now is to kill this man. The people will be so consumed by that they won't notice us.
They started to destroy the gate to get into Uthman's residency. Uthman's fierce defenders were ready to face the rebels. They are the sons of the companions, such as Al-Hasan ibn Ali, Abdullah ibn al-Zubayr, Muhammad ibn Talha, Marwan ibn al-Hakam, Sa'id ibn al-As, and many others. Uthman cried out from within,
Fear Allah, fear Allah. You are absolved from defending me.
When they refused to stand down, Uthman himself emerged with his sword to hold them back. Together they drove off the rebels, who withdrew for the moment. Uthman retreated to his room. Spending his time reciting the Quran while weeping, beseeching Allah for protection. But the rebels returned with fire. They set the door and portico ablaze. Flames roared until the wooden structure collapsed, crashing onto the entrance. The assailants rushed inside. Uthman's remaining defenders rose to meet them, ready to engage in combat.
Which man will oppose me?
A man from Banu Layth named Al-Nibs stepped up. Al-Nibs sliced Marwan's neck, but Marwan struck his leg. Marwan survived, though his neck remained bent from the wound. Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, accompanied by Kinana ibn Bishr ibn Atab, Sudan ibn Humran, and Amr ibn al-Hamiq, scaled the wall from the neighboring house of Amr ibn Hazm, and they reached Uthman in his room. At that moment, the Caliph and his wife Naila were reading Surah al-Baqarah from the Quran. Ibn Abi Bakr seized Uthman's beard.
May Allah disgrace you, you hyena!
I am no hyena. I am Allah's servant and the commander of the faithful.
Neither Muawiyah nor anyone else has helped you.
Son of my brother, let go of my beard. Your father would never have gripped it like this.
Had my father seen what you've done, he would have denounced you, and I intend to do worse than grasp your beard.
I seek Allah's help against you.
Bin Abi Bakr then pierced Uthman's forehead with a broad iron-tipped arrow he carried.
Uthman's slaves started coming to help him. Al-Ghafiqi struck Uthman. The sacred text flew into Uthman's hands as his blood spilled onto its pages.
Sudan ibn Humran advanced to strike again. Naila threw herself over her husband. Sudan severed her fingers.
How large her buttocks are.
Uthman's slave rushed in and beheaded Sudan in revenge. Qutayra then killed the slave. Another of Uthman's slaves killed Qutayra in turn. Meanwhile, Amr ibn al-Hamiq leaped onto Uthman, still barely alive, sat on his chest, and stabbed him 9 times.
I stabbed him 3 times for Allah's sake, and 6 times from the anger in my heart.
Amr moved to behead him, but Uthman's wives, Naila and al-Banin, threw themselves over the body.
Isn't it enough that you've killed him?
Ibn Udays intervened.
Just leave him.
The rebels looted the house, taking whatever they found. Then they rushed to seize the public treasury. For 3 days, Uthman's body lay unburied in his room. The rebels refused to let his relatives bury him.
Let him rot in his place.
Really? Let's hear from Ali about this.
The family appealed to Ali, who granted permission for burial. But when the body was brought out, some stoned the bier and insulted him. Ali rebuked them and ordered restraint.
After all, he was your Caliph.
When relatives sought to bury him in al-Baqi, the Muslim cemetery, the Muslim community rejected it.
No, don't bury him here. Just bury him at Deir Sal, the Jewish cemetery.
So at twilight, his family interred him in an enclosure called Hash Kaukab, where Jews had once buried their dead. Only Marwan ibn al-Hakam, 3 of his freedmen, Mawali, Naila, and Uthman's 5th daughter were present. Years later, when Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan gained supremacy, he ordered the enclosure razed and Uthman's body transferred to al-Baqi. He then commanded Muslims to bury their dead around the grave, gradually incorporating the site into the main Muslim cemetery.